Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of the Talos Principle, The Road to Gehenna. Let's continue. So we figured out where the statue goes and we've got half of it put together already. I don't want to put on any more pieces because these are the pieces we could take to the other area. We've got a star that we missed over here and a star that we couldn't figure out how to get over there. So let's look in this area and find out where the star is in the first place. And would there be any useful... Oh my goodness, I think I figured out how to get the star in the other area, and it's insane. We've also got these beeping computers on us. So... what I think I just realized is if I record the recordings and play back things and then from the puzzle on way over that direction, I might be able to double up my height in some weird way, and by doubling up my height I might be able to get to a higher position. Before I try that, however, I think it's worth assembling the leprechaun statue. Yeah, I am not seeing a star in this. Like, we've seen a lot of them up in these little towers. And this puzzle certainly is not in like a permanently open shape. I did not leave it like that. In fact, I think it's kind of in a permanently closed shape. Yeah, there's a piece over there I don't think I could get to. So, I don't feel like in the main game there was a system or a way you could lock yourself out of getting all the stars. In fact, I'm fairly certain I did get all the stars. Whereas here, yeah, this feels like this would be difficult at the very least. Yeah, I'm not really buying it. Like, I'm not really seeing anything that screams, hey, there's a star over here. This might actually just be the default setup for the world. Actually. And this felt like this was gonna be the easiest puzzle, just because it was using only one element. It kind of turned into being one of the most convoluted ones. There's nothing in this world that coordinates. Yeah, this is the beginning set. Like there's no jump up position or anything like that. And there's no fans or anything that would get you at a higher area. And I think I practically would have to just solve this entire puzzle all over again to get to some of these sections. And I don't know if this is worth it to try that. I think I would have seen a star. If this one part was not re-energized. That would have been helpful. Let's see. Oops. Look at all those lines. All those different lines. Alright, well, I just don't buy that there's a star in there. So let's see if putting the statue together gives us a star. Or let's read the email first so it stops beeping on us. So show these new threads. Incredible stories attachment. It seems like every time we look at any of these, we're given the ability to upgrade. I wonder if there would be a way to look at the art expedition again. I guess not. There's a new gallery session attachment, or gallery season. So I guess maybe I should just vote on something and have an opinion. Incredible stories. So pause again if you want to read any of this stuff. So there's 3 stories here. We'll read the first one. Pause now. Pause now. Pause now. Pretend like we read that. Pause now. Pause now. Pause now. Pause now. Pretend like we read that. Too much text in this game. Way too much text. Not since Skyrim have I seen so much text in a game like this. Pause now. Pause now. Pause now. So we read all of those. Pause now. Read on food, I guess. Pause now. I guess we'll pause on this one. Pause now. And pause now. And see, we're only at 4, so we'll do this. Voting is now closed. We'll tally up the results, of course. You may continue to explore Gallery at your leisure. How convenient the vote was closed just before I got here. Good luck, everyone. I wouldn't let my new freedom come in between me. This is the one where we chose to not vote. The results are in, drum roll. In 3rd place, Nave with Where the Humans Live. My first placement, woohoo. A pity it's finally come to the day Uriel begins pulling this place apart. There was a very tight competition this season in the 1st and 2nd places, and in the end it came down to a single deciding vote. In 2nd place this season, McCaliber with a collection of natural history curios. Really, I owe it all to you guys. Who won? Your lackadaisical approach to these announcements tires me. Please inform us who won. Lois says, okay. Finally, first place comes this season by a single vote in next season's leading light. The winner is... Everyone seems to love this guy. It's the Blacksmith 8 with his abstract collection. I don't know why everyone keeps voting for this guy when he never shows up in person. Bit holier than thou, if you ask me. Congratulations also on those who voted for the Blacksmith. Be sure to check your awards. Lilith, who exactly turned the vote? Lamb had the deciding vote as it happens. Unfortunately, you didn't select a winner and gain no profile status. Accept direct messages. Now. Hey, I heard you abstained from the vote. That's cool. All these ranks and numbers just give power to the mathematicians. You and I, we could start a movement. Non-compliance. Bring down the whole system. What do you say? The system is already in its death throes. My mission is to preserve what I can, not destroy things. I understand it that... As I understand it, that is precisely my mission. Well, all of these are true, so it's just a choice of how you want to phrase things. System is already in its death throes. My mission is to preserve what I can, not destroy things. I think, as I understand it, it's precisely my mission, in the sense that I don't think you should give numeric votes in first place to art. Good to find another true seeker in this place. I organized a few people, have Garrett tinker with the system a little, and scored you some decent upvotes. Since you're near here, spend them wisely, and see you at the revolution. Terminating direct message connection done. Congratulations for interacting positively with our citizens, and your profile status has increased from 4 respected citizen to 5 active contributor. You have received 1 thread creation token. This will be available for the next time you log in. So I'm still at below 6. So I still can't log into this. But I can exit. There's a lot here on this thing. And then we can come back in here. Let's see. Apparently I could create a new thread. We could ask, why were you sent here? That's a good question. Your thread has now been created. You check back soon to see if anyone has replied. So, kindly inform me of your origins. So we'll get some more stuff, more feedback on that thread later. Let's put this guy together. So we were able to use things, but we've got to find the right things to use. And this feels like this would be the next part of the thing, so I don't understand why I'm getting a use prompt for everything except for this. Seems really odd. Maybe I'm just not aiming high enough. And you can't take this apart anymore. You can't use that. And you can't use that. So there's either another part that I've missed. Or There's a very specific reason why I can't do that. It seems so odd. Just won't let me connect. Alright. So here's my thought. And this may be insanity. Maybe, maybe not. If I start with this off and let's see this, can I find a good place where these both will be like that? So that's all we need to deal with that. Okay. Square here. The only thing I can think is, what if I was to come all the way over here? Like, just take a really, really long journey. And this is going to be a super long journey. And hit this. And I think I'm gonna have to need like 5 minutes of time in total. Like 5 minutes would be a full collection. Here. I don't think I can even get to the other side of the map fast enough otherwise. Yeah, so if I give myself a minute, what we want to find out is if I run through the purple walls, does that end the playback? And we should be able to know that much. Because if that ends the playback, then we know this is not the solution. If it doesn't, so I gotta wait until my clone walks on that. Then run this way. So in the lower left hand corner we've got the timers. Does that end? Yes, it does. Alright. So walking through that is not the solution. So what we're looking for then is potentially a final part of the statue. That must be something else that we didn't collect the second time when I reset the checkpoint. Some small central piece. I kind of remember seeing it too. So just gotta look around everywhere once again, looking for any prompt or anything out of place. But they're all green regardless, so it's gonna be hard to find. Come on. Give me the look of the Irish. Let's find this last piece of the statue and put it together. I'd like him to just hand me, collect the 2 stars for me, and be done with this area. We may have to give up on this area too and come back at a different time. I suppose it is possible that inside any of the world there might be a last piece of the statue, but that would be really, really cruel of the game to do something like that. imagine if you had to walk out in this section and you find a piece that goes through the walls. That would also be the only one piece that's not in the central location. So that would be particularly unfair. Guess you could take the whole thing. Maybe that's what I have to do. Maybe there is nothing left to collect and I just need to take the whole thing and put it back down so I can add more to it. I'm trying to move fast and I'm hoping that's not my downfall. I'm hoping I didn't already run right past it. And it's not in the visual glitches. You kind of wish, I kind of wish that the visual glitches had done something in the main game, but since they really didn't mean anything other than the indication that we're in a virtual reality and it's falling apart, there's no reason I would ever believe that meant anything. Maybe I should look a little bit higher. Maybe there is some place to jump. Maybe there's a piece that's not so much in the inside the outer walls. Most of them have been right along the walls of something. If I end up having to go around everything twice, I don't know what to do at that point, because then if I leave this area there's the danger of everything resetting, and then it would be for yet a third time I would have to run around looking for all the pieces, because if everything reset, and I don't want to do that. But I feel like I've been everywhere. I feel like I've seen everything and been everywhere. Is there some secret? Also trying to figure out if there's a way to get up very high. Alright, let's try this. Okay. Take. Drop. On this statue, everything is stuck. Drop, 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 drop. Leg. Waist. It's like no crouch button. Nothing like that. Not getting a prompt. Maybe that's the problem, is I'm getting a little too close. Maybe I'm too far away. this is the right piece. It clearly is. Yet nothing that this hovers over seems like it wants to work. And when I try to use this, it doesn't work. Drop. Alright, well, let's take a little journey outside. We didn't pick up any pieces and take them any further than this. We see this? Freedom is always freedom of the dissenter. Okay. So I'm looking around in this world, looking for, I guess, a couple things. One, I'm looking for a statue piece, and two, I'm looking for a way to get on the exterior walls. And if we're seeing broken walls like this, that's a great indication that that's not something I need to be concerned with. I'm not going to walk on those kinds of walls. If there is a piece of the statue out here, yeah, that'll be crazy. This looks like a fake wall. But the walls at this point do seem slightly doable. So they've stopped being crumbled and they're now more platformed. We can hear ocean sounds instead of just nonsense. Fans and electronics components. Alright, well, this does something. Let's just look down here. Okay, that was weird. So it's a wall with a secondary wall. That feels like that's an adjustment for something. These are the connectors for the puzzle. I guess north is that way, since moss is growing on that side. If that's correct, I don't know. I could get a box, certainly, but I don't know how the box would get me up that high. Yeah. I could maybe get a box and jump up to the top of that. Alright, let's kind of look around the walls. Of course, I kind of stay along the walls always anyways. There's a pointer on that one, but I don't think there's anything to do with that. That's just probably an artistic creation. Where is the other star? I think we're gonna hit a point where I'm gonna have to also look up a walkthrough because I'm not really gonna be that patient. Like in the 5 years since I've played the original game, the Talos Principle, and would have just banged my head against the wall trying to figure it out without any help. I've come to rely on help a lot more, and if it takes too long, just for the sake of content, for sake of sanity alone, I'll just look up the solution. This entire section is one puzzle. Every part on the outside of this island is one puzzle. So I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that once we get to the other areas, they start to have puzzles that overlap and are not discrete at all. You'll just end up doing the one thing. I still want to walk in the water and kill myself because I haven't died yet. So it would be nice to potentially play this game to its completion without dying even once. If there was a piece of the statue I would kind of think it would be somewhere around this part. And jump up here. Just look in the corners to see if maybe there's one in the inside. And this isn't even activated now because I reset the checkpoint. So I'd have to run through this entire puzzle a second time if I wanted to solve it again. Hey. Okay. Now what? So there is a way here to jump out of this maze, and there's also a way to get the two laser sights out. I think that's pretty much all you could do though, is get the laser sights out, not anything else. Okay, we get the two laser sights redirectors out in this world, and we can't bring them back in. There's a cube here, so we could get a cube into that section. It's almost like they intentionally made it so that you could maybe cheat the system a few different ways, and that there's possibly several solutions that you could use as long as you cheat the system somehow. Down here, is there? We have this human out of bricks. And one assumes that these bricks are magical in some way and you can't just break them otherwise. these robotic looking programs would have done that a long time ago. There are definitely some points where if you get close enough to the water, you start hearing water. Alright. The problem with being able to bring a box in an area is I don't know how that helps me in any way. It seems just kind of redundant. Yeah, I don't know what the more laser sights or more boxes would do. I mean, it would make a lot more sense if there was a way to jump into the puzzle over here. But I don't see a way to jump into the puzzle over here. And I don't think I am gonna see a way to jump into the puzzle here. They put walls on everything very intentionally. We're in this position. There's a little bit of a graphic glitch. So yeah, I put a box down and I still don't have enough boxes. I still don't get high enough to get to that. Put a box down here. I could even try to get a general idea of what our jump height would be. Maybe that would get me on the edge, but I don't think so. We're definitely not finding pieces of the statue. I think it's probably just a little bit of redundancy that they integrated into it. I think the statue of the leprechaun gives you 1 gold star. I think the other gold star is unrelated. And I seriously doubt there's a way up. There might be a way up here, but why would that even be helpful? This is on the other side of the map. So yeah, here, jump over the fence, and then what? You can put laser light through this and go in that direction, sure. But that's kind of all there is to it. And once you get to this, yeah, unless I could get a box in here, and even if I could get a box in here, it's not going to throw this back in the exact same spot so that we would have a hovering laser light. And even if we did have a hovering laser light, I'm not sure what the point of that is. feel like I didn't really accomplish anything in this recording. Unfortunately, I think that's what it can all, the only thing that can happen here. So, let's say I go through the puzzle, I get this here to fly that way. And that is in line with this column. Those columns are the same. The one on the other side is in line with, in between these two columns. So, this totally is not the same place. If it was the same place, we would also be landing... Oh, I just messed up that puzzle, by the way. I mean, maybe you get the box up here, and then maybe that lets you jump up there. I think maybe there's something back there. So we have two questions, unfortunately, at the end of this recording. One, why can I not either find the final piece to the leprechaun and put them together? And two, how do I get the other gold star that's way over on the other side? And I don't even really want to look at it because, like, I've been there, I've done it, I've looked at it several times. There's clearly something missing. This is another example of, like, this is how it's not gonna just let me climb up the walls, and even if I could get up the walls, it's not gonna get me very far. If there's one leprechaun piece, it's odd that it's so hard to find when everything else was easy to find. Unless it's just in the center or something. The music's getting a little repetitive at this point. We could move to another area and do for some different audio. It'd be interesting if perhaps in the next section you lose some of your abilities. That being said, I guess that really wouldn't be too interesting. Because if you were going to do an abilities and have us then lose them all, you probably would have done that in a first section of gameplay, not just in the first of 4 areas that I chose to go into. If I had a box, I could get maybe up there. Yeah, you run into a danger now of, like, well, if I had a box, I could get up to this point, and if I could get up to this point, maybe there's something hidden around the corner. You could say that for a lot of things. And that's going to be a dangerous path to go down. Just trying to look everywhere. Yeah, I've played thoroughly enough, though. The game is not being as forthcoming as I would like it to be. I thought I might have seen something, but I guess it was just a green plant through another green plant. Everything is green. So, of course, it's really, really hard to find. And yeah, I've been around this place 2 or 3 times. Most of the pieces were around here. So either a disproportional amount of pieces are supposed to be around in this area, or I missed something in the other areas. Well, that's frustrating. Let's look up this. Okay. So that's the tower we saw. I don't think we're ever gonna jump on top of these terminals. So you have that second wall with that connector. You have these walls that maybe I could get up here, but then I'd hit this point and I couldn't go any further. You have this transmitter. You have this tower that I think is really just here to probably take up space. I don't think that there's any other reason this exists other than probably to block some angles too, so that you couldn't make a connector go from that point to that point. Well, actually it seems like you could make a connector go from that point to that point. These towers aren't gonna work. Alright, well let's see if we can figure this out. Put this down, take this. Can you jump up on this? No. Can you jump to that platform? No. Can you jump to that? No. We know it doesn't have anything to do with the time recordings. Now you could probably jump from this to this to this to this to this. So if there was a way to get up to all of those, maybe. But I don't know how you get up to that. Yeah. It just does not seem right. Can't jump from here. Can't jump from there. A lot of the jumps in these jump puzzles are definitely about you can see your feet, and if you can see your feet, you can jump. But if you can't see your feet, then you can't jump. Now let me ask this question. Alright, that does bounce it back. But unless I was going to precisely try and have this below the ball and then bounce and pinball off the cube, which I'm not sure it would do. Let's see. Why is there a hole here? Like, in what way does that help anything? Let's just put that there. Okay. We found a way to stop it. What does that do? Doesn't really do anything. Unless I was gonna say try to place this item on top of it, which doesn't work. and you can't really put it on top of that. And this is an easy solution puzzle. It really has nothing to do with any of these cutouts. Yeah, I don't see actually anything in these cutouts that seem to really matter. I mean, I guess I could have tried to directly connect to this one. I could have tried to directly connect to that one. I don't think any of that really matters. I feel like that's probably the max number of connections you can use. And yeah, there's kind of no way that this helps or does anything. And if I walked backwards into the purple area, it would just bounce me. Yeah, so I have to really just admit defeat here, because it's really what this is just boiling down to is I have no clue, and I don't think that there's a part of the statue. Like, I honestly don't think there is one in any of the puzzle sections. If there was, then I would have probably found other pieces. Or I'm missing a lot more pieces than I think I am. This is the problem with collectibles in games. You can't just go crazy with it. If I had a box and it let me up there, I don't know why it specifically would. And then I came back this way, I came back this way, came back this way, came back this way, came back this way. No, it all just seems like it's the same height. It seems to me like there should be something on the other side of this wall, but there kinda isn't. So, and I'm just not gonna get high enough to hit that. Alright, well, I have to, at this point, concede defeat. Unless I'm supposed to jump on a statue. See, that is just not high enough. We can't place those through windows. Okay, well, we went 15 minutes in this recording. That's going to be it for this recording. Apologies for not really accomplishing anything, or not too much anyways. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.